What's going on, everybody? Resale Rabbit here. It is part 2 of the warehouse sale. It's currently Tuesday. We reopen tomorrow, and I'm bringing pallets out. So this is where we left it. This area is wide open. We can fit 3 pallets here. We've got 16 ready in the back to put out. What we will probably do is towards middle end of the day, we'll be able to combine some of these and get rid of 1 or 2 of them and put more out. So if you remember, everything was a little too far that way, so it wasn't a big deal to add another table here. Normally, we don't have extra tables here because we want a good walking path here. So we're able to do this, so I can put more stuff on here. This cart was in the front. I just tucked it here. It does feel a little out of place, but not a whole lot we can do. Not really any other better places for it. We did condense the clothes so we could get a table there. I am going to do those 3 pallets, fill up that table. I'm gonna drop the price on this to maybe $4 a bag. I'm gonna shift all of this to the side so I can put some cases of Cheetos next to it. I think I'm gonna drop the price on that. And I think everything else is fine. And then I'd like to try and get some more stuff packed into here. Special Buy hasn't been doing that well. The vacuums really shock me. Usually vacuums, even returns at half price, go fast. These are brand new. So I don't know why they're not moving, but there's some room underneath where I can put stuff. But also you might notice we got some friends up here. That was a recent addition. I just bought Kool-Aid Man, the Peanut M&M, and the Sour Patch Kid. And then Santa was always up there, but you could barely see him. The kids always liked seeing Santa, and the parents would say, you know, Santa's watching, be nice. So I moved him up here. It just seemed to fit in. And then the Play-Doh I got when Party City closed, and that's been up there for a couple of months now. Fun fact about that Santa, he was on the very first truckload that I ever bought 10 years ago, just about. And instead of selling him, we just decided to scare each other with it. So I would hide it somewhere, and the person working for me at the time would randomly see it when she walked in the door and would freak out. My favorite was when I had him standing in the middle of here about 2/3 of the way down, just watching. Pretty soon we're gonna run out of space to display stuff though. I got this little bit yet, and that's gonna fill up fast because I've got a very big sign, a little over 5 by 5 feet that's gonna go up there. It's sitting in a warehouse in Florida right now. I still haven't figured out how I'm gonna get it back here. I bought it a couple of months ago and I'm really excited for it. My eBay returns have been insane lately. And it's not like there are issues. Most of them, they just changed their mind or they didn't want it. I don't know why returns have been so high the past week and a half or so. All right, I pre-condensed. Everything that was in here is now in those 2 pallets and trash. So now I can get a 4th one out here. All right, so we're all set up. I put those 3 pallets out. I put this one out. Over here, I dropped the price of the charcoal to $4.99 and put these out. Oh, that's right. I want to drop the price on those yet too. I put this mirror out. I put these bins out. These are used. They've been up there for like 10 years, and every single sale people ask to buy them, so I just figured I'd put them out. And then over here, we are set up on this table with more stuff. And then I was also able to shift a few things around and fit some more items on this table, as well as this box and these things. So that's gonna be it. I need to change out that to be a $3 day. I'm gonna drop the price of those. I'm kind of thinking 3-pack for $1, just because I want to get rid of these. I don't want to be stuck with them. And someone said on the last video that sunscreen actually does expire when it expires, so most people just throw it out. So I guess we'll just drop the price very low on it. What else do I want to do? I think that'll be good for now. I'd like to try and get some more stuff in here, but I think I'm going to just do those 2 things and then start listing eBay stuff. And there we go. We are ready. So, I have an apology to make for Edgar. I just found this box marked 2024, and it was shipped to Resale Rabbit, never opened. It was down here. My guess is I got it. I saw it was from a viewer and was waiting until I was doing the next video to open it. I completely forgot about it. So let's see what Edgar sent me last October. So I cut the label off. And What do we have in here? What in the world is... Oh, never mind. This was not from a viewer. This is something that I bought on Whatnot and completely forgot about. Normally, if I see something addressed to Resale Rabbit, that tells me that it's from a viewer, because I shouldn't get anything else addressed to Resale Rabbit. But my Whatnot account has Resale Rabbit on it. That's why I got sent that way. I had some store credit built up on Whatnot, like, I don't know, $100 worth. So I bought this lot for like $100. It's just some cameras. I believe some of them are missing chargers, if I remember right. So this one has the charger, and it's missing the battery. I might have a Panasonic battery though. This one, Sony Handycam. We've got this, and this is good because I need that to test a couple others. Battery doesn't really matter on these, so this one's, we'll test it out, but it's basically ready to list. This Samsung is a DVD. The DVD ones don't go for as much. And it has the AV cable, the camera, but it does not appear that it has a charger. And then lastly, we've got this one, which is another Sony, and uses the same charger. Not sure if there's one in here. Oh, a whole bunch of tapes. It doesn't look like it has a charger, but it uses the same one as that, so I can use it to test. And this one should be about $100 on its own. That one should be about $100. This one I have no clue. I would guess between 50 and 100, and this one I would guess about 40 to 60. I've got several Panasonic batteries, but not the one for that one. I better throw the label away before I forget. I save labels whenever a viewer sends me something. That way I have their address in case I ever want to send viewers random things. So it'd be so confusing if that guy randomly got a Resale Rabbit shirt or something. All right, it's Wednesday morning. I am so tired. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night. Let's hopefully $3 day, and the rest of the sale is decent. We've got the product for it, but it's all in pallets. I don't know if that's going to scare people away that they have to dig. It's also very nice out. It's 64 degrees. We no longer have the heat to deal with. I'm optimistic. We're a little busy in there, which is good. For some reason, the printer is printing out 2 receipts every time someone makes a purchase. It prints their receipt and then a duplicate, which I've never seen before. So new filters here. Time to swap this out. All right, new filters in. I wrote the bottle count, and then the other side actually has the date, which is kind of weird. You'd think it would be situated where it would be on this side. There's actually a spot where you can write the date, not a spot for that. But messing with these is easy. You take these 2 screws out, and that comes off. Then there's a button right here. We'll hold it down. And the filter is now green. Done. I also didn't notice any water down here. There's a little now because water comes out when you take the filter out, but I didn't notice any water down here when I came in. So we'll see. We'll let that dry and see if any more. I did, the spot where I think it's coming from, I tightened. We'll see if it didn't seem like there was any give when I tightened it, but it is really hard to get to that in there with a wrench. I also made it a little bit colder too. So we'll see if this continues to leak. I'll leave the panel off for now. And if it does, I'll call the plumber and have them come in and try and investigate. So I got a package from Zach here. It's addressed to Resale Rabbit, so that means it's from a viewer. I know the last one wasn't, but this one should be. All right, let's open this up. I cut his label off so I don't accidentally show his address. Let's see what we've got here. I have a feeling I know what it is, just because of the size of the box and that thing that I've been asking for. And it is. We got 2 copies of Miracle on 34th Street. Those will go in the collection. And a note. If you open this on a video, it's okay to say my name. Good. So this is from Zach. He says, Rabbit, I'm glad to be able to help build the collection of Miracle on 34th Street. I've been watching your channel for a long time and love your content. Keep up the hard work, and please keep the videos coming. I hope you have a wonderful and successful, I think that says, year. I'm terrible at reading people's handwriting. So that's the note. I appreciate it, Zach. These will be a nice addition to the collection. And if you guys have any copies of Miracle on 34th Street, feel free to send them here. Address is in the description. We'll add these to the pile right here. One of these days I'm going to get a shelving unit and start display them.
For concerts in the park. Oh.
It's pretty busy in there. That's what I like to see. I love seeing full carts come up to the register. I'm gonna go to lunch. Arby's has a Philly cheesesteak that's actually pretty decent. It's not the best I've ever had, but for a chain like that, it's much better than Charlie's. And Charlie's is okay. It's not quite like Cheesesteak Rebellion, which is a local joint we have here in town. So John McCormick on YouTube here, someone in the comments, had a really good thought that I didn't even think about. The leak in the bottle filler is probably just condensation because it's been so hot. And that would explain why today, where it's a reasonable 65 degrees, there was no water in the bottom. So that's probably what it is. So I'm gonna wait to call the plumber and see if it comes back. So this was on an Amazon pallet. It was in a cardboard box, but it just had a skew on it. Didn't have any details. It's in a crate. I need to know what it is. Surface plate calibration certification. What in the world is this? It looks like a chunk of granite. It's just a chunk of granite. I don't understand. Does anybody know what this is? That was a lot less exciting than I thought it would be. Looks like it's used for measuring flatness and squareness of other objects, laying out parts, calibrating instruments, setting up tools, checking parallelism, etc., etc. It's worth about 35 bucks. All right, we got some tables knocked down, so I should be able to get 2 more pallets out there. We have so many. Basically, this whole row, those 2, that whole row, all needs to go out. All right, we'll see how hard this is to film. So I get this ball. I'm gonna try to throw it through there. It's either going to be a terrible throw because I'm focused on filming, or a terrible video because I'm focused on throwing. So let's see. Spend too much time focusing on filming. Let's try it again. Nope. All right, rule of 3. Lucky number 3. Oh, almost. Well, that's all I got. I give up. So all this NFL stuff that came in, I paid 300 bucks for all of it. I just sold it for 1,060. So a quick 700 or so profit. Well, we finished the day at 54.67. I would have liked to be higher, especially considering 1,040 of that was that NFL apparel that I just sold. So planter box is gone, so I got some shovels, shelving it, and a slide here. I have to get those priced. I think I'm gonna reload these. This is all looking good. I've got a little space down here since I'm doing special buy. I'll grab a couple of things. Let's dig out what I can find. Sold one of those. Sold a few more of these. Sunscreen, sold a bunch of those. These were a hit. Those are basically down to the last box. Still haven't sold a single one of these. I don't know if I want to price it any lower. I think I might just auction off the pallets. They don't seem to be selling. No one in the sale seems to want flavored charcoal, I guess. I don't know why. We loaded up some of this Dollar General apparel. Mitch doesn't know how to load a rack. You gotta have extra space so you can move stuff around like that, so you can go like this. But all of these look to be the exact same item, the same size, so I'll just pull a handful out. We've got 2 rows of pallets. People seem to be enjoying them. I mean, these have been selling down quite a bit. It doesn't look like they've sold down enough where I can combine any and bring another out. These 2 are close, maybe midway through. Oh, that's nice. This is not what was supposed to be in there. This is a brake for a bike. I don't see it on top here. That's an empty box. These generate so much trash though. So what I think I will do, once I'm done with special buy, I'll go through and price or pull some of the trash out of these. I cut this one down, which is a real pain. Look how thick that is. I used a box cutter. But there's still a decent amount of stuff yet. It looks like there's a little gap here on the table. I can find something to put there. I could probably squeeze in some odds in it. These are still here? How are these still? I'm honestly a little tempted to pull these for $2 each and we'll save them for Christmas. I think I might do that and I'll put something else here. Because that shocks me that we still have some of those. Oh, these are gone. The curtain rods. This exercise thing can go in there. Looks like these tables are reasonably full. So that's the plan. A few more special buy items down here, then we'll get it all priced. Pull trash, fill those couple of gaps, get rid of those binders. And then I'm good for tonight. All right, I think we're all set. I've got everything priced in here. The items I put down here are all priced. I filled in this gap on the table. I also removed the Pokemon binders and filled in all of the gaps on this table. Got some more of these. These are the big garbage bags. These should have gone out sooner. These came from Party City. I got a whole bunch of garbage bags from both Party City and JLN and a pallet. But those are the Party City ones. You guys ever listen to Brook and Jubal? It's a Seattle, Washington radio station, but they're all over YouTube. I don't even think they exist anymore. I think they like broke up and one of them has his own podcast or something. But the Awkward Tuesday conversations and the second date updates, I'm addicted to them. I put on like a YouTube video that's like 2 hours of that and just listen to it while I work. It helps me be more productive, actually. I'm starting to understand the whole podcast thing. But anyways, it is 6:30. It's time for me to go home. We'll get this finished up tomorrow. Well, there's not really much to finish up. We'll have another sales day tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow's better. I mean, Wednesdays in the past have either been amazing or kind of crappy. So it could just be Wednesday why we didn't do well. With the volume of product we have, I would assume, we have to do well these final days. There's some really good deals in those pallets. The only real drawback is you have to dig, and I could see that turning a lot of people off, but I could also see it exciting a lot of people. It just depends on who you are as a person. Me personally, I wouldn't want to dig through pallets, but I know a lot of other people get really excited about it, so hopefully things pick up. My goal for the second half of the sale was a minimum of $22,000. We did about 5, I think, if I remember rightly. I already told you the number, whatever the number I showed you was, but I think it was like 5-ish so far. It is Thursday, 62 degrees out. It's like half the temperature it was last week. It's so nice. We are basically ready. So I am going to pull out carts and signs and we will get moving. So I sold a camera on eBay and I showed it on Patreon, but I sold it for $100. Buyer almost immediately messaged me and said, hey, I shipped it, or I put in the wrong address. Can you change the address to this? And the new address was in a completely different city. And whenever I talk about this, by the way, don't ever change the address for the buyer, because then if they open an item not received claim, they get their money and the item. Common scam. But whenever I talk about this house, not always a scam. People always say, no, Rabbit, it's always a scam. Who puts in the wrong address? I've done it before. Forgot to change it to my new address, or accidentally shipped it to my house instead of the warehouse, or bought something as a gift for somebody, forgot to put their address in. Or maybe the last thing I bought was a gift for somebody and I forgot to switch it back to mine. Lots of reasonable things. So what I always tell people is, per eBay terms, we can't change the address. However, we can cancel the order, refund you, and you can purchase it again with the new address. And most of the time they take me up on it, and that's the case with this camera. I canceled it, I refunded them, they immediately bought it again, they put in the correct address. the one that they had messaged me to ship it to, and it was great. And now I'm covered under seller protection, and the buyer's happy. So if they were going to scam, if it was a scam, they would get their refund and then they would just never buy it again. So that's why I say it's not always a scammer. However, scammer or not, it's still a good practice to, you know, make sure you're only shipping to the address they provide at checkout. Well, the news is here. They want to interview you. I know how much you love being on camera, so I volunteered you for the interview.
Not gonna happen, sir.
You're on camera right now, by the way. So technically, yes, the news is here, but they're not. It's the reporter who came and did those 2 reports on the NFL draft auction we did. She's here shopping. So Thursday's in the books. We got this reset and nice looking. This pallet is a fresh one, and that pallet's a fresh one. We put them out after we closed. Put more stuff up on the tables. We finished at 4,300. We still have not broken 5. I'm not counting the NFL apparel as part of the sale, even though it's in there for that. Sold 58 of the sunscreens. Mitch sold one of his candles. 2 cases of wipes I put out. 9 Clorox wipes. We sold a shelving unit here. Duct tape. 6 of the Fortnite squirt guns. Little shelf. Coffee. Oh, nice. We sold 2 of these light fixtures. 9 charcoals. Sweet. Work gloves, a few plant stands, 73 donut boxes today, Starburst, and then the last storage bin. It is Friday. I am really tired and I'm walking in the door about 7 o'clock. I gotta jump right into the morning video and then I can get carts and stuff out. The rock strikes again. Mitch told me someone just hit this rock. Doesn't look like it's really been moved, but he said it messed up the side of their truck. We're putting out the last of the plant stands. These are packaged so dumb. They've got like 20 zip ties holding them together. It's a real pain to cut these. Super unnecessary. And as I put these out, Aiden is putting the last of the donuts out. I don't think I mentioned, I put the cover back on here because there was no more water. I think it was just condensation like Joe was saying in the comments. So this is good. And we're at 584. So it's 4 o'clock. We still have some people in there shopping, but it's another kind of disappointing day. I think it's probably gonna be like 3,800 total. I think the issue is the pallets. People don't want to be bending down to dig, which makes sense. Now, one bright side about the pallets is that it's a lot less work for us. I've basically been listing on eBay nonstop during the entire sale, and my eBay sales have really reflected that. Sales on eBay have been through the roof. I think I did like $750 overnight, 15 sales. Yeah, so that helps. Less labor costs, and I can focus my energy on other things, which is nice. Another very obvious issue is we don't have the consumables, the grocery, health and beauty, toothpaste, shampoo, things like that. But you can't really get them anymore. You're really only getting that in volume from drugstores, Walgreens, CVS, and those are so expensive. A Walgreens load, I used to spend $10,000, $12,000 delivered. Now they're like $40,000, and that's just, it's no longer cost effective. Occasionally you get one for like 15, 18, but it's very heavy and seasonal and it's out of season. That's how I ended up with so much Halloween candy and 6 pallets of candy corn that I had to give away to a pig farm. So all of this has me, I've been putting a lot of thought, I mean, the last year, but especially during this sale. Sales have been picking up until this one. The last 2, granted one was a Christmas sale, but the last one was okay. But it has me putting a lot of thought in the future of Wisconsin Liquidation Center. And I'm kind of pulling back on it. This year we dropped from 5 sales to 4. We're only doing 4 this year. And that was something that was planned, at the end of the year last year. We made that decision. We're only doing 4 in 2025. I think we're gonna do even less in 2026. We're still gonna have the fall Halloween sale. Here, let me show you why. In here, this whole back half here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 pallets here, all Halloween from Walgreens. There's a little bit of Amazon that we just kind of threw on there, but all Halloween from Walgreens. I've also got somewhere around here a Gaylord full of Halloween costumes from Party City. And we've got a few more pallets floating around here of Halloween. So we definitely have to have that sale. And then the Christmas sale, I mean, that's been consistently good. So we'll keep that. I'm thinking after this year though, for 2026, I'm putting a lot of thought into it. Mitch thinks we should drop to just one sale a year, just the Christmas sale. Ben thinks we should do 3 sales a year. I'm leaning towards Ben's idea. I was kind of thinking 2, a summer sale and a Christmas sale. But Ben's job is to manage the warehouse. And he's already running out of stuff to do, doing 4 warehouse sales because, there's nothing to sort anymore. So if we drop to 2, we need to think of something for Ben to do. Now, he used to be the auction guy, so I could have him doing auctions and just do, every so often we do a second auction. Maybe every other week we'll do 2 auctions instead of 1. So there are options here. But I think we'll be scaling them back. Once upon a time when we were doing $70,000, $80,000 in every warehouse sale, it made sense to, push them out as quickly as we can. I had looked at, toying with the idea of doing them monthly. That would have been awful. But the warehouse sales were kind of the main focus of the business. eBay, Titletown auctions, that was kind of an afterthought. It was the, keep the lights on in between the sales side of the business. But the auction company has grown exponentially over the past couple of years, and I think that's taking the place of the main focus of the business. So my thoughts are kind of tapping the brakes on the sales and hitting the throttle on the auctions. We get so much stuff in for auction right now. I just got a phone call today about another estate. I'm doing a consult on Monday for that. We've got a huge company that went out of business and, dealt with their board of directors for a while, and they finally signed the deal. So we're doing that right after the sale. We're going to be over there taking pictures. Auctions seem to be the main focus right now. I don't think we'll shut down Wisconsin liquidation because I do enjoy it, but I could see us doing 1 or 2 a year and capping it at that. There's a lot of logistical things to think about with that. How's the effect going to be with staff? How is the effect going to be with sourcing? And then all of the stuff for eBay and auctions that we get on pallets, that will slow down because we'll be getting less liquidation. And so there's a lot of things to think about and a lot of moving parts to consider. But I'm kind of thinking that's the route we're going to go, is tap the brakes a little bit on the sales, probably drop to 2 or 3 for 2026. I told Mitch to hang the signs, not to be the sign.
I am sign.
And he cost $1 4 times. So it's Dollar Day, Saturday. I am exhausted. I just finished the morning video, and we're gonna open something up. Christiana got me something yesterday. She gave this to me last night, but then she said she wants me to open it on a video. So I had to sit there and look at this box all night, wondering what it is. And I cannot open it until I get into work to do the video. That was torture. So let's crack this thing open and see what it is. What in the world is... This is kind of a corny gift. It's a corn rabbit. I don't know why this exists, but I love it. He's gonna go right up here. You can't really tell what he is. I don't know how to display him where you can tell that he's also corn. I'm starting to run out of space here. Most of this is gifts from viewers. Christiana has such a great sense of humor. She laughs, her laugh is awesome. I love her laugh. I tell jokes all the time. This isn't just between me and you on the videos. This is me all the time. I'm always cracking jokes. And she's always laughing, and her laugh just sounds, it's a very unique laugh, and it sounds great. Every time I tell a joke and make her laugh, which, let's be honest, happens all the time, she goes, So I was able to condense clothes. I got knocked down 2 clothes racks. I had to put this up because that little bit wouldn't fit on there. But that allowed me to put up another table. So we filled this up. And everything along this wall is fresh inventory. Most of this was here. I don't think I really added much last night. These, maybe because we don't know what they go to. I'm surprised these aren't doing better. On bag day, I think those will go. And then we got the pallets. We did replace, I don't know if I showed it on video, this pallet about midway through the day yesterday. And then that's it. Special buys, kind of standard. The last of those are out. The last of those are out. We did finally sell one of these vacuums. I'm really shocked these sat as long as they did. Vacuums, usually the used customer returns at half price, sell really fast. These ones are brand new and they're still here. I put out some beach chairs yesterday. Those sold. Over here, kind of the same stuff. This is getting pretty low. Whether or not we'll sell out, I'm not sure, but we sold through a lot of them. Golf cart seats died off. We sold the 2 early in the sale, and that's it. There's still a lot of these in here, but they're moving. I'm sure there will be some left. I might just leave them out for bag day. And then we've got the, these are almost gone. I found this on a pallet. I'm gonna put it on my truck. It's funny because my truck is not a Chevy. It just upsets all the truck guys. This was 7 weeks ago, but someone left us a 1-star review for some reason. We weren't even open 7 weeks ago, so it's not like they came in and immediately left us a review. So that's weird, but we are still at 4.8. Only 73 reviews, but I'm pretty happy with that. And we finished at just under 3,900 yesterday. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pallets here of stuff. That one is stuff that we pulled for $10 day. So I'm sure we'll be able to swap out a couple today because Dollar Day and Saturday usually busy, but I'm gonna pull one right now and just dump everything from here on the top of the pallets that's out there. I also found this on the top of this pallet. It's selling for about 20 bucks on eBay, so I'm gonna pull it. All right, and that got emptied into these 3 and those 2. There's still room in those, and I haven't touched either of these, so I'm gonna bring up another pallet. Can't forget about this pallet up front. I'll have emptied this out in a minute in there. So that'll be 2 extra pallets that I brought out. And done. So yeah, we got a bit of a line. I realized I forgot to bring the carts and sign out. There were 10 carts top side that I brought out this morning, but I forgot these. So I put the rest of the carts out because they were all occupied. But I'm gonna wait on that sign until after we open because there's too many people out there. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in.
It's so comfortable.
Well, I wonder how much footage of that you got before my phone fell over. I haven't looked yet. But a lady walked in and she saw this hat, Green Bay Voyagers, which is a soccer team that only existed for like 2 years. But apparently her husband was the coach of that team. And she asked if I was a fan. I said I had never heard of them when I found the hat. I just like Green Bay stuff, anything that's representative of our city. And she's like, well, next time you guys are open, I've got a bunch of stuff. I'll have to bring it for you. So that's pretty cool. I hope she follows through with that. I know nothing about this team, but it says Green Bay and I had to get it. I just watched the video. You got a little bit of the people coming in, but not many. Some lady knocked it over. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's the first time this entire sale that we've had enough of a crowd to be able to put the phone up there. There's probably 50 people. We haven't had 50 people come in at the same time like that in a while. So that makes me feel good. One thought that I've had, and I've been thinking about doing this for like 2 years now, is get a load and just do $1 day. Don't even sort it. Everything's $1. I was thinking Dollar General would be a good one for that, and we just do it for 1 weekend. We would do it out in the parking lot, so, weather permitting and summer only. And that's something that I think we could do. We can get a Dollar General load for 6, 7, 8 grand. So if we can do 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in the parking lot. We just dump it into Gaylord's, wheel it outside, let people dig. End of the day, we wheel it back in. I feel like that could be beneficial as a side thing. It won't hit the numbers we do this because it's only 3 days instead of 8, and it's only $1. But I feel like that could be doable too once in a while if we cut down to 1 or 2 sales a year. It's chaos out there, and our internet went down again. I called Spectrum. At home, Spectrum is amazing. Never had any issues. Here, it's a nightmare. The internet is so slow, goes down a lot. And I had them come in and they charged me for this because they couldn't find any issue. Everything's fine, they said. Doesn't seem fine to me. I can't even handle the deals today. Chaos, nothing but chaos. And the donuts are sold out. Found this on a pallet. The pallet hadn't gone out yet. It was just about to. This will go for more. We'll save it for the next sale. So I got the little Wi-Fi hotspot running up there, but we had a line of people when the internet went out. And then that thing had a dead battery, so we had to wait for it to charge for like 10 minutes before we could even get internet. It was just horrible timing. 9:17 a.m. We're at 849. We did sell string trimmer. That's the only major special buy item. The donuts, we sold 55 of them. I'm sure there are a few more still floating around in people's carts, and some that probably got moved to pallets and tables, but we're basically done with them.
Get out of here. Get to work, Jonathan.
Are you tired?
Always tired. I'm old.
Ben was complaining that he's hot. Just imagine if it were snowing right now, though. Can you imagine having to shovel snow in this heat?
It'd be amazing. I make snow angels.
Yeah?
Yeah, you feel good right now.
I would hate to be out there shoveling snow in this weather. It's too hot out.
I hate to be in here with all the people that snow.
Can you imagine being such a dirtbag that you're gonna go into a small business and try and scam them out of $1 over and over again? This is worse than the people who are garbage. These people are something that I can't say on YouTube, but I really want to. I kicked them out. They didn't speak English, so I don't know if they even understood that. These two older, maybe 50s ladies, they brought up a cart full of stuff. They did not speak English, which I believe that. I know some people will try and use that to get away with things, because earlier, half an hour earlier, she was trying to show me, like she was showing me a plug, trying to ask me where an outlet was, but, communication barrier. I feel like if they spoke English, they would have used it. Anyways, they had a cart full of stuff, and there were these little waste baskets, like bathroom-sized waste baskets. They were all nested together, like 5 of them, in a poly bag. And I remembered seeing those earlier. They were separated. They were sold individually. But maybe a different customer did that and then threw them back. Maybe that's how they were originally packaged from Amazon, and we opened one but didn't open the other. So I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I didn't say anything. I just charged them $1 for all 4 or 5 of them. Handful of items later, there was a bag that had like the party supplies, the cups, napkins, spoons, things like that, and there was other stuff mixed in it. So that time I opened it and said all of these are separate. And so I went through and pointed them all out, and she, again, language barrier, it eventually got to the point where she made a little pile and she said C and no, and that to me understood she wants the C, she does not want the no. Okay, maybe another customer did it, it could happen. But then a handful of items later, there was an opaque bag, one that you can't see through. And I swear I remember these bags. In fact, it was this. I swear I remember it being clothing when I've seen them. And so I started kind of looking at the label, and it says birthday party, ... Okay, maybe that's what it is. Well, her friend was like tapping on something else on the counter, trying to distract me and get me to just move on to the next thing. But it did not feel right. So I opened it up, and there were like 10 retail packaged items, and I just dumped them out and kind of looked at her, and she, again, separated what she wanted and what she didn't want. But after this, I stopped even talking to them. I just opened every bag and counted each item out individually without even saying a word to them. So the other lady kind of wheeled the cart, a couple feet away and So anyways, I kind of saw her going through the bag, so I figured that's their scam. They stuff a whole bunch of stuff in a bag and hope they can get the bag for $1. And when they realized that I had caught on to it, they stopped. Now we got to the total, it was like 40 some odd dollars. And then there was this left over. Now it was 2 women, or 2 people, doesn't matter the gender. This is very common where they'll have one cart for multiple people. The first person will pull their stuff out, check out, and the second person will buy the rest. That happens every 3rd customer. They started walking out, not with the cart, they just started walking out with the stuff that was paid for. And I said, well, did you want that stuff? And she just kind of shakes her head, and I don't know if that meant she doesn't understand me or what, but just kind of, she pushed it away and didn't want it. So I told her, I said, you can't come back here anymore. We don't want your business anymore. They didn't really say anything. I don't know. This is why it's important for me to say that I believe they didn't speak English because of the earlier interaction. They could have been, leading with that. I don't know. But they hopefully won't come back. The drawback is the only description that I can really have is 2 Hispanic females, middle age. And that describes a lot of our customers. So, and they paid cash, so I don't have a credit card name. So I told Mitch about it, and he's just gonna keep an eye on merchandise as it comes through. Our camera system is down right now because our internet is down, so I don't even have a picture of them. So I'm gonna go through this stuff. This looks legitimate. This looks accurate to what's, oh yeah, this was the bag that I emptied out earlier. And then like this was some of the stuff that was in one of the bags. That's correct. That looks correct. That one's empty. All right, let's do this one. I need 2 hands to open it. And inside, we've got silicone toe spears. We've got a phone case. More of the toe spears. An adult product. Straw covers. Another adult product, and keychains. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items in there that they try to get for $1. So they tried to steal $6 from us right there. Now, what else do we have? Balloons. I'm just gonna throw these away. Nobody buys these. We got that. I'm just doing this for the video so I can sort through it. All this is gonna go right back on the sales floor in a minute. Anything else look off here? There's a product. I don't know if that's part of it. See, you can tell because they have their own X labels. So that was 4 items in that bag. And then that's just an empty box. So then we've got this bag here. And in here, that doesn't go in there. It says party supplies, so I'm guessing, well, no, these each have their own. This one does not. That's got its own X label. That does not. So I think a lot of these go together, but a lot of them are separate. Can I help you, sir?
What are you doing?
So I just had 24 zero gravity chairs come in. My cost was 20 bucks a piece. We got the last 20 minutes of today and then bag day, so I'll put them out. But these are the main ideas, the next sale. Try and make a little money back now though. All right, dollar day is over. We moved this up here because we're gonna let people fill bags with that, so I don't want to mix in with the special buy. We're getting really low. Looks like we got 5 of these left. I put these out. In the last 20 minutes, we didn't sell one, so we'll see if any go tomorrow. Pretty much ready to go for tomorrow, though.
You're a large child.
I'm a large child.
Yes.
I take that as a compliment. I've learned the error of my ways. I used to, back when sales were doing really good, I really complained about how nobody ever reads the post. That was open. We'll post on Facebook, on Marketplace. It'll say the hours, the address, and everything. And I'll get messages. What's your address? So I give them the address. What hours do you open? And I give them the hours. And I get so annoyed that people don't read the post. But then things got really bad. In that period in 2023, I think, where things were really bad. And we didn't even get much engagement at all on the posts. And I had grown to miss correcting or answering everybody's stupid questions. And so now that we're getting engagement on posts again, I haven't been complaining about it publicly. But I've got one I need to complain about. Someone asked the same, what are your hours? And then I tell them the hours. Well, what's the address? Tell them the address. But I want you to remember that I, in a direct message, told them the hours, 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. And it was also in the post. She just messaged me on Facebook. It said 7 minutes ago. It's currently 4:25, so what would that be? Now it's 10 minutes ago, so 4:15. She said, are you guys closed already? I just got here. I told you the hours. And that's going to end up in a bad review because she showed up and we were closed. But anyways, I want to show you another nonsense thing on Facebook that's completely unrelated to the sale, but relates to another video that we've done. Hopefully, I can still show you. The guy blocked me. I did screenshot it. Okay, it's still here. Remember the red boxes? I've got one left. I sold all of them but one, and then I kept 2 myself. So there were 8. I kept 2, so there's 6. I sold 5 of them. And this person says, there you go. 600, you're down horrendous, buddy. Now, I don't know what that means. I can only assume it means that he thinks I'm overpriced, especially because of all the laughing emojis, but I made him explain it. I said, I don't know what that means. He said, cope harder, bud. So obviously I know he's screwing with me. I'm still not sure I follow. Are you still interested? I only have 1 left. After you scrapped all 4, loser. And I tried to respond again. I normally don't entertain these people because, you feed into their nonsense. That's just what they want. So I wasn't going to start talking trash or anything. But I really was curious at his logic. If I was going to scrap them, why would I keep one? Why wouldn't I scrap them all? So I tried to respond just that. If I was going to scrap them, why would I keep one of them? Why wouldn't I just scrap them all? Question mark, LOL. And then after that, I said, they all sold, or all the other ones sold. Most of them were shipped out of state. I said, couldn't send. And I looked, the guy blocked me. What is the point of just sending someone an insult and then blocking them? I don't understand. People make no sense to me. Okay, this worked once before. Let's try this. We need another plague. For those of you who are newer, that's how it worked. That's actually how the pandemic happened in the first place. It was during a warehouse sale. I was really annoyed with people, and I said, we need another plague. And then that was probably, December of 2019. And look what happened afterwards. And then, several months, 6 months later, however long it was, during a sale, I said, okay, it worked. Let's try this. We need a vaccine. And then the vaccine came out shortly after. So clearly, I control humanity or something. I have some special power. But we need another plague. To be fair, sales were great during the pandemic. It was awesome. So maybe we could use another one of those. Get rid of some people and have better sales. Does that make me a bad person? Am I going to lose subscribers for that? Is this video going to get throttled by YouTube for saying certain trigger words? I don't know. But thankfully, I'm not a professional YouTuber. So, I hope it doesn't happen, but it's not like it's going to hurt me financially if that happens. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. We did like 4,300, give or take, in sales today. Tomorrow's bag day and we're done, and I'm so excited. But as per protocol, I have booked myself solid immediately after the warehouse sale is over. So there's that. We didn't really do much with the pallets other than pulling trash out. We moved this up here, cut it down. And all of this other sunscreen we were saving from last year It's all expired, and based on the comments on the video, sunscreen actually does expire. It's still good to use as lotion, but it doesn't protect from the sun anymore past the date. Most things, when they expire, they're just fine. I've got Advil that I take when I have a headache. I'm pretty sure that expired in like 2018, and it still works fine. I'm not dead yet, but I guess sunscreen actually does, at least according to the YouTube comments here, or in the last video. And I trust that because several people said that they normally don't have a problem with expired stuff. But lots of people said it still works as lotion, so it's still usable. So rather than throwing it all away and letting it go to the landfill. Anyways, all that to say, the other sunscreen, the ones that we dumped on top of there, I was actually going to save and put out on like $3 a day. But I didn't want to because there would have been confusion with the 3 bottles for $1 deal that we were doing for special buy. And B, if it doesn't work, I'm not going to fill up the table space with it. So we waited until bag day to dump it in with the rest of it. Now, why did I dump it in? Why didn't I just dump it in right away and do the 3 bottles for $1? Well, good question, Mr. or Mrs. Viewer. It's because the other ones are already in 3 packs, so it's less counting. If someone brings up, 24 bottles, we know exactly how many to charge them for because it's 3 for $1, because they're in packs. So, hold on. I don't do public math. Let me get my calculator out. I'm pretty sure 24 is a multiple of 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So, if they bring up 8 packs, we know just to count 8, and it's $8, but it's 24 bottles. If they brought up 24 loose bottles, then we would have to get out the calculator, and I don't want to do that. All right, now I really have to go home. It is a beautiful Sunday morning. I'm rolling in right at 7 a.m., so the video is going to be late today. There are already 3 cars in the parking lot. I just brought carts out. It's maybe 7:05. Lots more cars pulled in. There's a line of, 10 people out there, plus some people waiting in the cars. And we don't even open for another hour. That's awesome. So we're all set up and ready to go for bag day. We did pull the coffee, so people don't try and put that in bags. We sold out of the donuts, so we didn't pull that. But otherwise, and we pulled, there's a table here. We were able to just move it onto other tables. And then the 3 bins here we pulled. That was the duct tape. I just threw it in with the other duct tape. We're gonna run that again in the next sale. Normally we don't, but it's Halloween duct tape. I feel like it fits. And then the gloves and the Clorox wipes. I still have like 2 cases of the gloves. We've had these long enough. I'm gonna auction them off, and I'll probably auction that lot off too. So I expect a busy morning. A lot of people coming through, clearing us out. I'm excited to be done. Oh, forgot to mention, we also pulled Mitch's candles that he makes, and he took those home. So those are not gonna be, obviously, for bag day. We open in 3 minutes. The line wraps around the building. Several pallets are filled with this powder because people decided to open up the plaster. I guess there must have been some bags of plaster. And then there are a couple of these card games that people decided to tear open and then just throw all the cards back in here. Honest question for those of you who get upset when I say people are garbage, do you think that's acceptable behavior? I don't know what to do about this. So much plastic is blowing out of here. I can't close the lid because the garbage company put this way too close to the fence. I even tried bending it, but it won't get around that. There, that'll help. This piece of veneer was just sitting out here. I don't know where it came from. It's a little after noon. We're gonna start fill a cart. There's still actually a decent amount of people in here, but it's getting pretty late. I was expecting to be done by 1. That's definitely not gonna happen, which I guess is good. That means we've got a lot of people here. I mean, that's a good thing. Gets more of this crap out of here. 2 weeks out here and this thing killed the grass. We are all done. I always say I want to get a bunch done on Sunday after bag day's over, but I'm always so exhausted. And here is my favorite part. So this is how we finished up. There's not much left in these pallets. This really irritates me. I don't understand why people are so terrible. So for special buy, we still have these things. It's funny, the other mirror sold right away, and this one was out for several days and didn't. Sold several of these the first time we put them out, and then the rest just sat. That surprises me, it didn't sell. Sold a couple other things. We're down to one of these. I wonder if there's something wrong with this, because that should go like this. Maybe when that was out, someone thought it was missing parts or something. I will take a look, but these are all supposed to be brand new. So, and I didn't think this would sell, but I figured I'd give it a shot. Back here, I put a handful of these shovels out. I've got 2 left. I might keep one of these because I feel like it could be handy. We get 6 of these left. I'll just put them out for $10 day of the next sale. Golf cart seats, we're gonna auction off the pallet. We did not sell any of these, but they were really only out for bag day, so I'm not shocked. We'll save them for the next sale. And then these, we're just gonna auction them off by the pallet. No one wants these purple pants. I'll throw them in there. I got someone who normally buys all of our leftovers for like 20 bucks. I said he could have them for free if he digs them all out of the pallets, and he seems to be okay with it. So he's coming tomorrow to take all of this because this is being a nightmare to go through. So he'll take all of this, the boxes and stuff. I need to get this reset to a photo station because Mitch needs to finish the auction tomorrow, and we need all the time we can have. So I'm gonna get this reset, and then I'm out of here. It's not entirely true. I need to, I'm gonna try and edit this video so it goes up tomorrow, the day after the sale. Never done that before. And it's time for this to go back on the door. One of the best parts about being done is I don't need to hear the same music played over and over and over again. I am so sick of that anxiety song. It gives me anxiety listening to that song. It's like these magnets are collecting water, causing some rust on here. There, that looks good, right? Much better. All right. I feel like there haven't been many new songs lately. Like, I know the radio plays the same 6 songs, 8 songs over and over and over again, but usually every sale, it's 8 new songs. I feel like the past year, it's always been the same songs every single sale. Except now the anxiety one is, but it's just a ripoff of another song with different lyrics. So, for starters, today we did $1,640.94 in sales. Let's see what the total, let's go to sales summary and do, we want to do the entire sale. That's going to be the 19th through the 29th. So we'll exclude the things that sold beforehand. We did a total of $32,962 in sales. We had a $6 return. Shockingly, the only one return was this $6 item, and this is one that I did. I sold it to the guy, and while he was still at the register, he realized it didn't work, so I gave him his money back. And then we had, of that, let's see, where are discounts? Right here, $180 in discounts. This is the people who have the $5 off coupon for signing up for the mailing list, and then the $10 off 40 coupon that we sent out for $2 day, I think, whatever day we did that. Paid a total of $679 in credit card fees. And now we will look at all of the item sales. We sold 203 bags for $1,015 today. We sold 3 carts for $30. 9,621 general merchandise items for $24,000. This was that bulk deal that I did with someone. I just ran it through the POS. I'm not really counting it as part of the sale, but it's in the middle of the sale, so we kind of have to for this recap here. Apparel, 219 items for $703. A lot of the apparel, especially in the lower dollar days, got run as GM just because it's easier to count them out. 3 bottles of sunscreen. So I made $232 on the sunscreen. I bought the pallet for 50 bucks. And this doesn't include all the bags that we sold that were full of sunscreen. I bet there was, I don't know, at least another $100 worth, which would be 20 bags full after the end. Sold the 2 beach chairs for 40, the umbrella for 20, pole saw for 60. Mitch's candles. Let me get out my calculator here. $123 here. His cost is $4 each. So it's $48 that we'll subtract from that. So 123.88 minus 48. So that leaves a profit of $75.88, split evenly. I get $37.94 of this. He gets the difference. We're splitting the profit. So he gets his cost back and the difference is split. Cheetos. This was actually the bottom of a $75 pallet. And we were really bummed out because we were hoping for general merchandise on it. It came from the auction. But the Cheetos alone paid for the pallet. The other stuff ended up being free. We found 3 random cases of wipes, sold those. Only one of the cases of price tags sold. We're just going to auction the rest off. The little Clorox wipes that we had by the front, $109. We sold one of the comforter sets for $50. Sold 29 of the string trimmers for $1,711. We had one left. For reference, I had a deal wholesale in these to a store for $2,000. And they ended up, it was a sealed deal. The agreement was I'd hold on to them through the winter, and then they just kind of bailed. Same as that candy deal. So it is what it is. Deep storage, that's a shelving unit for 70. Those boxes of coffee cups, we sold 3 for 60. The duct tape, it's tough to say if that's going to be a good deal or not. I spent $250 on the pallet. I only sold $80 worth. But it's a Halloween theme, so I normally don't like having the same item in multiple consecutive sales. But we'll run it in the next sale again because it's just in a little impulse area and it is Halloween themed, so it might work. We sold 1 chandelier for 60. The Fortnite water blasters, we sold 25 of them for 239. I did take an offer, $5 a piece for 2 on today on bag day. We do offers on special buy items during the very end of bag day. So I want to say I spent $75 on this pallet, and I still have like half of them left. We'll save for next summer. A little shelving unit. We sold 2 of the golf cart seats for $50. My cost on that pallet was $125. So we'll see how the rest of them do. We're just gonna auction them off as a pallet. Maybe we make a profit, maybe not. I believe when I bought them on that video, I said it was just a total shot in the dark gamble. We sold one of those vacuums for $95. Really shocked that we only sold one of the vacuums. Normally do really well. The coffee, we sold 87 units for $435. We still have over half of them left. My total cost on the coffee for both pallets was $275. So we made a healthy profit and have a ton of inventory left. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of it. I'm leaning towards just auctioning it off. That way we don't have them in the next sale. I don't want to save them for a long time because they are past date, although coffee does last forever. Mirror for 40. The smaller lights, we sold 2 of them for 50. 17 charcoals for 88.85. My cost was, I believe, 50 or $75 per pallet on those. We'll auction the rest off, and I'm sure I'll make my money back doing that. But we basically paid for one of the pallets, and then we sold some last year too. Sold the slide for 60. Both ice makers sold 180. These came on the same pallet as the vacuums. Spin mop, a cot, 36 of the work gloves. We're done with those. We've had them in too many sales. We're going to just auction the rest of them, and we've got a lot left. 39 of the plant stands for $390. I spent $150 on that pallet. So that's how does that work out now? I've got 4 left. 43. That doesn't seem right. Maybe I have more than 4 left. Because there are 3 per case, so that's would mean there are 2 missing. I don't know. There's probably more left. I'm not sure. But anyways, I spent I spent $150 on this pallet. Brought in $390. I've got whatever's left will go in the next sale just for $10 a day. Donuts. That was a rough one. If you remember, I accidentally bought a second pallet. I didn't realize they were the same thing. I thought they were 2 different SKUs. I would have been better selling them for $1.50 or $2 each if I just bought 1 pallet, but I had too much volume, so I had to price it cheap to dump it. But $422 worth, and my cost was $375, so I made about $50. Sold 3 of the shovels, sold a leaf blower, salon towels. This is the other vacuum. I took an offer in the last hour of today for $125 on it. Soaker hose, soda stream, let's see, air mattress, the Starburst. This one was a home run deal. Sold 75 units for $375. My cost on this pallet was $25, so I made $350 profit. The storage bins, these are the ones that were sitting up in that on that shelving unit for the last decade. Sold those for $30. Surface floor shield, sold one of those for $25. This is like plastic that you roll out on the floor to protect it if you have movers coming through or something. Wall mount fan, and the garden bed for $50. In category sales here, we did 27,000 in general items, 5,800 in special buy. And that, my friends, is the warehouse sale. So our next sale is going to be end of September. I will actually be having a birthday during that sale. And by the way, this is the last warehouse sale I will ever do as a single person. Cristiano would not agree that I'm single, but I'm not yet married. But anyways, that is, oh, that's right, I set the ring down on the eBay area this morning, and then I found it hours later. Anyways, that's all I've got for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a rough sale, but we had the heat working against us, and we had, we got misled on that truckload of Amazon, which hurt us. I think all things considered, we did all right. Trying to improve for the next sale, though. The next one is we've got a ton of Halloween already in the building, so I think we'll have a decent amount of stuff. I gotta figure out something for the first half, though. I'll have to put some thought into that, see if I can find something good. I will see you guys in the next video.